أنا مسلم والنور ينبض في دمي ولسان كل المكرمات لساني. أنا مسلم والشمس تعرف هامتي.
The whole Quran is kalam. The whole Quran is a communication, and Allah chose the best communicator, Al-Mustafa. We have failed dismally to achieve a high level of understanding at a comprehension level, a high level of applicative understanding, and a high level of engagement with the Quran itself.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد قال الله تعالى في شأن حبيبه إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد أصحابه وبارك وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected ulama, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It indeed gives me a pleasure to be here today, and I must thank especially Brother Shamir here, who has invited me on behalf of this masjid to deliver this talk. Above all, we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as you have heard, my topic for today is Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam as the universal and final messenger. Now, you see, this is the month of Ramadan. Rabiul Awwal. The month of Rabiul Awwal, we know, is a month in which our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was born. And the historians tell us the consensus of opinion is that he was born on the 12th of Rabiul Awwal, but there are others who even say he was born possibly on the 9th of Rabiul Awwal. But we know this month of Rabiul Awwal is the month in which our beloved Nabi was born. Now, you see, one may argue, he says, so what about it? He was born like any other child is born. Do we have to celebrate it? This is a question. You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Maryam that Nabi Isa alayhi salam, he made a special dua, Salamun alayya yawma wulidtu, that peace be upon me the day I was born. So this is the word of a Nabi. Check out in the Quran, Surah Maryam. Right? وَسَلَامٌ عَلَيْنَا يَوْمَ وُلِدْتُ عَلَيَّ يَوْمَ وُلِدْتُ, the peace be upon me. So if Nabi Isa alayhi salam has had the statement to say that peace and salam be upon me the day I was born, why should Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam qualify even more? And then of course Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, the last verse of Surah Al-Duha, what he says, that فَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ, that as far as the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is concerned, we must talk about it. That is, the birth of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a ni'mat for us. But of course we know that our relationship and our ta'alluq is more with Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That is a great event. But we cannot ignore and just be quiet about the physical birth of our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now you see, the coming of a Nabi or a Rasul, what we call a messenger or a message bearer, is a chain of promises that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given. And you know, when He placed Adam alayhi salam on the earth, when He told him now to go out into the wide world and we are living, what was the instruction? He told him, Kulna bitu minha jamina. That get ye down, all of you, go into the world. That Hazrat Adam and his entourage. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُمْ مِنِّي هُدًى. That whenever guidance comes from me, فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. So Allah did promise to Nabi Adam or Hazrat Adam and his entourage, his children or whoever were there, that get down into the wide world, start living in the world with all these problems, good and bad. But from time to time Allah did promise that He is going to send His message. And there are two things Allah said, that فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. That whoever of you follows this guidance will have two benefits. First of all, you will have no khawf. Second thing is, you will not grieve. Now, what is the difference between fear, which in Arabic means khawf, and grief, which is huzn? There is a very big difference. That we experience as khawf, that is fear, before the tragedy. Before the incident takes place, like for instance, you are traveling and it's raining, you have a fear that you might be involved in an accident, before the accident. But the moment the accident takes place, what do? You grieve over it. In the same way, you find that somebody is very, very sick, right? Got advanced illness and he's going to, or she's going to die. You have a fear. But when the person dies, what happens? You grieve. So therefore you find throughout the Quran, Allah has mentioned this, La khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun, that when we die, if you follow the hidayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll have no khawf, right? In the hereafter, as Allah says, right? وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. And about the akhirah, you have that yaqeen. And when you get there, you are not going to, وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, you are not going to grieve. But in line with that promise, Allah sent Nabi, that is Anbiya and Rusul, prophets and message bearers throughout the world. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ. For every nation He sent a heart, a guide. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولٍ. And for every ummah, every community He sent a Rasul. And we know the proof of it is, if you look around the world, any part of the world, you find that there is civilization, and you question, how did this civilization start? For instance, you go to South America, you see the Inca civilization of the Red Indians. You want to question it, how did that civilization start? In the same way, you go to Rome, you go to Greece, you go to India. Throughout the world, wherever you go, you find there's some civilization or the other. Right in Africa, you find that even what you call that one of the pharaohs, Amenhotep, he was a muwahhid. He had a prophet-like characteristic. And then if you come to our part of Africa, what we call the Black Africa, you find that we also find there is a lot of civilization. And did you ever think, respected brothers and sisters, that every nation in the world, they have idol worshipping. Every nation in the world, you can go to South America, you can go to Greece, you can go to Roman, you can go to India, anywhere in the world. But there is one nation that do not do idol worshipping. And you know which nation is that? It's the black people of Africa. Have you seen a Zulu or a Sotho worshipping an idol? I haven't seen one. Of course we believe in ancestors worshipping whatever, but the concept of God as an idol does not exist in a black community. What a wonderful thing it is. They are the dear ones to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Anbiya alayhi salam, But each Nabi or each Rasul was sent to a particular nation. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ, that we sent Nuh alayhi salam to his people. So what we learn from this statement, that Nuh alayhi salam was sent to his people, not to the whole world. Because he said, Ya qawmi, O my people. Then we find the time of Nabi Nuh must be about 11 to 12,000 years ago. Then we come to the story, the time of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam. What we find with Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, there too, he never at any time go out of his own community. When you read the Quran, he makes statement about Ya Abi, was Qala Ibrahim li Abi, when Ibrahim said to his father, wa qawmi, and to his people. You never find Ibrahim alayhi salam talking, he says, the whole world listen to me. In the same way, you read in Surah Hud, the 11th chapter of the Quran, you find all the Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam. You read about Nabi Salih, Nabi Hud, that was sent to different people. What we read, they will say, Ya qawmi, O my people. Right, so what we find that even come to the time of Nabi Musa alayhi salam. Nabi Musa alayhi salam was also sent to the children of Israel. He's reading Surah Saf. What he says, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ, when Musa said to his people, not to the whole world. Remember, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ يَا قَوْمِ, O my people, لِمَا تُخْزَنِي, that why are you harming me and troubling me? قَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ, that you are aware of the fact, you know that I am a messenger of Allah unto you. He himself could not go and say, I am a messenger to the whole world. And then in the same verse, next verse, in Surah Saf, that is the chapter 60 of the Quran, verse number 6, Allah tells us that was Qala Isa ibn Maryam. When Isa, son of Maryam, what did he say? Ya Bani Israel, O children of Israel, Inni Rasulullahi ilaykum, I am a messenger of Allah unto you. So up to the time of Nabi Isa, it was about 570 years before the birth of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every prophet was sent to his own people. Why was that? There were several reasons. First of all, we know the world was not so advanced socially, and otherwise the world was still, it was still in the process of developing, evolution. People were changing, society was changing, norms were changing, right? Different new needs arose from time to time, and therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that in Surah Al-Baqarah, that وَمَا نَنْسَخْ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا, whatever verse we abrogate, that is we cancel, أَوْ نُنْسِهَا, or we cause it to forget, نَعْتِ بِخَيْرٍ مِنْهَا, that we bring something better than that, أَوْ مِثْلِهَا, or like it. So it means that the process of scripture, the process of wahi, the process of revolution was in an evolutionary point. It was continuous, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He made certain amends. But one thing was very common. One message was very, very common if you read throughout the Quran. Every Nabi said, right, Ya qawmi ubudullah, O my people, make ibadat of Allah. That's the first thing is, they were told that they must worship, they must make ibadat of Allah, and wattaqullah, and also be conscious of Allah. And then he said, Atiuni, that you must follow me. So these three things were very, very common to every Nabi or every Rasul. That Ubudullah ma lakum min ilahin ghayr, you do not have a God, a deity other than Allah. So it was more tawheed. And then you find the other laws could not be finalized. You could not finalize the law to say that this is the final law in the time of Nabi Ibrahim, or in the time of Nabi Musa, or in the time of Nabi Ibrahim. on time of Nuh, Allah said, I shut down my revelation, this is final now, I'm not going to change. Because, as I said, the world was still getting more and more advanced. And then came the time, you see, where Allah said that now the world is becoming a global village. Become a global village. And I need one message and one messenger for the whole world. Why? Because you see, in times, very, very old times, Allah had to make a law, special law to suit each community. In other words, it was tailor-made. I'll give you an example like Nabi Yaqub alayhi salam. He was married to two sisters. He was allowed in his Sharia. Right, he was married to two sisters at the same time. Then Allah decided that was not what he wanted. So what he did, not in khayrin or Muslim or better than that. Allah changed the law. What he did, he said in Surah An-Nisa chapter 4 we learn وَأَنْ تَجْمَعُوا بَيْنَ الْأُخْتَيْنِ that it is forbidden to you that you bring two sisters in marriage at the same time. But it was allowed for Nabi Yaqub. That is what we mean, that the laws were still developing. Then we find, take the law of Jum'ah, Yawm al-Jum'ah, we got the Sabbath law. What happened in the time of Nabi Musa alayhi salam? What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the commandment, we read the 10 commandments, that remember the Sabbath to keep it holy, etc. And then from sunset of Friday to sunset to what we call Saturday, thou nor thy stranger, nor thy cattle, nothing must work, everything must down to complete shutdown for 24 hours. But then come the law of Jum'ah, what Allah did say, that I'll bring something like it or something better than that. What he did, he brought the law of Jum'ah, where he said when a call for Salat is made, فَاسْعَوْا إِلَىٰ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, that you must hasten to the zikrullah. But فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, when the Salat is over, then you spread out into the earth, وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ, and you must seek out the bounties of Allah. So you see, this is what we mean. But at one stage, Allah said you must have full Sabbath. Now the law of Jum'ah, the law of assembly, is just 1.5 to 2 hours. This is what we mean by the development of the Sharia and development of the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, come the time of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, why we say that it was time for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reveal the last law and the final message. Because you could see that by the time 500-600 years after the birth of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, the world was becoming more and more smaller. People started traveling. You find the Roman culture, the Greek culture, the Persian culture, the Indian culture, European culture. All these cultures started meeting each other. People started traveling. People started traveling either for war, they went from one place to the other, and people even went what you call from one place to another for trade. And then we know also that the great seafaring nations like the Portuguese people and the Arab people, they went round the world, round Cape of Storms and Vasco da Gama. All these stories we hear of, that how the world was being discovered. So then we say it is coming to a global village. The world was becoming one small village, and then there are certain things that was taking place. Communication became very fast. Right? By the time came to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people started communicating faster. Right? Today we can, something is happening at the same time and simultaneously you can broadcast it to the whole world. You don't have to wait even 1 second. And another thing is the way of preserving knowledge also advanced. For instance, you know when people started what you call keeping records, right? People started keeping records, the writing developed. In ancient time there was no writing, writing could not be preserved, whatever that we find, that whatever books was revealed from Nabi Nuh alayhi salam, Nabi Ibrahim, and even we find the Dead Sea Scrolls of the New Testament, and imagine a thing like, we say Injil. Did Nabi Isa alayhi salam still speak Greek? No. Right, we find the Injil, the so-called Injil, the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, whatever, originally is written in Greek. Right, and then when Nabi Isa spoke a language called Aramaic. So came the time of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The wahi could be preserved, number one. Number two, the world will become smaller. And therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided in His wisdom that now is the time now to send a world prophet, a universal prophet, for one message for the whole world. So what he did, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Baqarah, and we know that verse in Ramadan, we always read it, Shahru Ramadan al-Lazi unzila fihi al-Quran, that Ramadan is a month in which the Quran was revealed, Hudal lin-nas. Hudal lin-nas, what do you mean by Hudal lin-nas? A guidance for the whole of mankind, not Hudal lil-Arab. Notice, Allah does not say that the Quran came as Hudal lil-Arab, or Hudal lil-Ahl Makkah, or guidance for the people of Makkah, or Hudal lil-Qawmi, or the guidance for my people. But it was Hudal lin-Nas. This is where it had to make a universal declaration. And we read in Surah Al-A'raf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells His beloved Nabi in verse 158, Qul, say, O my beloved Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ya ayyuhan nas. When he says, Ya ayyuhan nas, meaning all mankind, not Ya Ahl Makkah, or Ya Qawmi, like the other prophets were told, even Nabi Musa. What did he say? Ya Qawmi. What did Hazrat Isa alayhi salam say? Ya Bani Israel. But here is a Nabi, he was told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to call out, Qul, Ya ayyuhan nas, say, O mankind, the whole world, whether you are African, whether you are Portuguese, whether you are European, whether you are Asian, irrespective of who you are, Inni Rasulullahi ilaykum jamia. I am a messenger of Allah unto all of you, without exception. So here was a universal messenger, with a universal message that he became. And if you look at the map of the world, you'll find that Makkah is in the center of the world. Now what makes the Nabi the final messenger and the universal messenger? We have to show it by his message. You see, first of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that the message of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is complete. وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا. That this message, the Quran, the word of Allah, tammat. What do you mean by tammat? You know, when the Malay people, they have the graduation in the madrasa, what they call it, tamat. Tamat means complete, the child is completed the madrasa. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا. That the word of your Rabb is complete. That's one point. Second point is, لَا مُبَدِّلَ لِكَلِمَاتِ اللَّهِ. No changer, nobody can change the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know for a fact that if you look at a copy of Sayyidina Usman lying in the museum in Turkey, you go to Tashkent, right, you look at a copy, and recently copies were found in the UK, the exact identical copy you'll find together. What was 1,500 years ago, the same word-to-word copy, only the writing style may have changed. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, La mubaddila li kalimatillah, nobody can change. That's another proof that this is the final message. And then Allah says, He does not say about anything else that He's going to guard it. Not about the Bible, not about the Bukhari, not about Injil, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the Quran. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. That we, that is Allah is talking in His royal plural, that we have revealed the Quran, the zikr, wa inna lahu lahafizun, and we are its guardian. And something which Allah Himself has taken the duty of guarding it, dot to dot, must be the final message. And the Nabi that came with the message and the messenger is final. And then we find, right, that one of the last verses that was revealed on Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was, Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum deenakum. That this day have we perfected the deen upon you. Wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. And we completed our favors upon you. Once the favor is completed, you know it's closed and sealed. وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعْمَتِي, and we completed our favors upon you. وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا, and we have approved of Islam as your deen. So we have so many reasons to believe. Right? That another thing is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Ahzab that our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is what? مَا كَانَ مُحَمَّدٍ أَبَا أَحَدٍ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ. And Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is not a father of any of the men. وَلَكِنْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَخَاتَمَ النَّبِيِّينَ. But he is a messenger of Allah and he is Khatam al-Nabiyyin. He is a seal of all the Anbiya. And then Allah Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Ana wa Ali kamiste Musa wa Harun. That I and Ali are like Musa and Harun. La Nabiya ba'adi. They said, we no prophet after me. And then he said, لَوْ كَانَ نَبِيَّ بَعْدِي لَكَانَ عُمَرٍ. There was a Nabi after me, it would have been Umar radiallahu. So we find respected ulama, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indeed did make our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the Khatam al-Nabiyyin, the universal prophet, because he is the only person among all the prophets who was told to call out to the world, Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind. Everybody else was said, Ya qawmi, O my people. So he being a universal messenger, the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the universal Ummah. Therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the title, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhraj. That you are the best of the community that will be raised for the distinct end. As-salatu was-salamu ala ashrafil mursaleen. As-salatu was-salamu ala akhir nabiyyin. Wa akhir da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.